I'm Sandy Wolters, and welcome to Sandy Spotlight. I am so excited to introduce you to Rebecca Forster. We are going to be featuring her book today called Keeping Counsel, and I have to say that it was one of my favorite reads this year. Wow, where do I start with it? The creepy factor in this book is extreme, which I love. I found myself sitting on the edge of my seat. I found myself gasping. I was yelling at the book. I was making so much noise, my husband asked me to leave the room. So the characters in this are phenomenal, and the story is incredible, and I hope that you pick this book up and read it, because when you do, you're going to love it. And I want to let you know that Rebecca Forster has about 20 other novels out there. So when you pick this book up and you love it, there's a whole lot more of her stuff out there to read. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Rebecca now, but leave a comment. In order to leave a comment, all you have to do is below the video, there will be a tweet button and a like button. There's going to be a word set that says comment. Just click on the comment, and all of the comments that people have left will pop up so you can see them and read them, and then there will be a form for you to leave your comments. So have fun with this book. I loved it. Okay, on to you, Rebecca.
Hey Sandy, thank you for having me on your blog today. I really appreciate it. I've been looking forward to it all week. I know that the topic today is my book, Keeping Counsel, but I thought I'd start out with that age-old question. I was working in an advertising agency in San Francisco, and my client, I found out, was married to Danielle Steele. Well, and said, oh, I bet I could do that. And my colleagues dared me. So I actually started writing on a crazy dare. And when my first book was published by Harlequin American Romances, I don't think there's anyone more stunned than I was. A couple years later, when I was writing single-title women's fiction for Kensington, my editor gently pointed out that perhaps romance really wasn't my genre. He said, you know, you can't keep killing everybody before they fall in love. The sad fact of the matter is I write a better murder scene than I do a sex scene. So I embrace thrillers, which of course brings us to the topic of Keeping Counsel. There are a couple of things about Keeping Counsel that I really found invigorating and inspiring. I had driven to Albuquerque to see a very good friend of mine. On the way, I ran into a huge sandstorm. I had to take a 100-mile detour. And when I finally reached Albuquerque, I saw these amazing expanses of desert and beautiful pink-tinged mountains and this giant river, the Rio Grande. People didn't really live close to each other. They were independent, and their houses were kind of scattered about. And I thought this was the most amazingly exotic piece of Americana that I'd ever seen, and it seemed perfect, a perfect setting for a thriller. The next thing that I so great about Keeping Counsel, that the villain, Bill Hamilton, is one of the characters that is so near and dear to my heart. The only way to describe Bill Hamilton is that he's the kind of guy that a woman would never turn down, even though the hairs on the back of her neck are standing up. He's the kind of guy that men would either like to be like or like to be the one who takes him down a notch. Bill Hamilton came into my brain full-blown, full-fledged. He had a voice that just would not let me sleep at night. I knew a woman who was a bit older, very chic, very beautiful, and she'd taken up with a younger man. And I wondered, was it because she was so desperate to have a man in her life, or was there really affection between the two of them? So my story revolves around two best friends. One is an independent attorney, and her best friend is an older woman who comes to visit her on her birthday. In tow is Bill Hamilton. When Bill asked to retain her as attorney for what she considers a minor matter, she, of course, accepts And now she's the attorney of record, and nothing he tells her can be told to anyone else. She finds out that Bill Hamilton kills women. He is vicious and he is cold, and yet he's charming and he's interesting. And she can't tell her best friends that the man she's sleeping with is a man who kills women. I think people will find the ending of this story particularly intriguing. I think it's a great discussion topic. You were the attorney. Would you break your promise to keep your client's counsel? And would you tell your best friend exactly what's going on? And the second question is, if you were the woman who so desperately wanted this man, would you believe anything that was said about him? That is the premise of Keeping Counsel. I would love it if your viewers would take a look at the book. I hope they will like it. I hope they will love Bill Hamilton. It was a USA Today bestseller, and I was just thrilled by that, and I'm so happy that it's now out on digital form. And thanks again for having me. Talk to you soon. Bye.